Welcome into another episode of the Laser Bros podcast. We are your hosts, Logan and Luke Lazarchik. And if you guys cannot tell today, Luke is in a different location. He's actually using my buddy's room right now, my roommate's room right now, and also wearing his Phil Hellmuth hat.
Phil Hellmuth.
Yep. If you guys don't know, I can't stand Phil Hellmuth. So today,
Great
if I'm extra
player.
annoyed
Great
listening
player.
to Luke's opinions and having to look at Luke wearing that hat, that's probably why I'll be extra annoyed today. Luke, I know you just got over here. We were kind of discussing what we were going to do for the episode. I know next week we won't be able to do an episode because Luke will be traveling to Orlando to cover is it the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the Pop-Tart Bowl?
It's Pop-Tarts with an S on the end. No the and an S on the end. Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Pop-Tarts Bowl? Okay, so you're covering K-State versus North Carolina State in Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Very excited.
In Orlando. So next week I don't think we'll be able to do an episode. I may do a solo episode. But today we'll be talking about what we saw in Week 15, which was kind of a subpar weekend. It wasn't that much entertaining football, and kind of games were kind of blowouts or just not well-played games. And then we'll actually do a confidence meter. And for our confidence meter segment today, we will be discussing our confidence in each current division leader. So we'll have 8 teams that we'll talk about, and then we'll close out the show with our normal upcoming week predictions. Luke, is there anything that you want to say or anything that you feel like needs to be said before we go into our Week 15 reactions?
First off, I look great with this hat on. I feel like shout out. I mean, he doesn't know I'm wearing his hat, or he doesn't know I'm in his room doing this right now.
No, so if he watches this, he'll find out that way. Yep.
Yeah, he's at work right now, but I probably should have told him, but he'll be okay. He'll be okay. And then Pop-Tarts. Well, I'm excited for that one. K-State lost a lot of talent, a lot of transfer portal. The whole NIL thing at K-State's a little tough because it seems like there's not as much money. But there still should be good players. Avery Johnson's first start at quarterback. I know that Peyton Wilson for North Carolina State isn't playing. That sucks because he's the ACC Defense Player of the Year. But I'm excited for that. It will suck not being able to record next week, but especially because next week should be way better than this week.
Yeah, it'll be around right for Christmas. But yeah, bowl games, I don't know how I feel about college bowl games. I mean, I was never a huge college football fan. Never really got into the bowl games unless it was playoff games. But now with NIL and or the transfer portal more so, players being able to transfer. You're not in the playoff games, you'll see a lot of players not playing because they're entering transfer portal and are not eligible to play with those teams.
It's kind of nuts because people still watch. Like I saw like their ratings for the Independence Bowl did like better than KU Indiana basketball or stuff like that. But it's like Jaden Daniels isn't playing in his. I think I saw that today. It's like that's obvious. Like Jared Verse isn't playing for Florida State. It's weird with the transfer portal now. That's just players getting drafted. But like Will Howard, who K-State maybe going to US, I don't know. Everyone's talking on Twitter about USC. But all those players, Will Lee, Kobe Savage, Trayshawn Ward, all those Wildcats can be on different teams. It's just weird. Bowl games, they've sort of just had their, like, I don't know. I think bowl games may be hurt by the transfer portal because now you're just getting a whole bunch of – it does allow players to play. It's cool. The K-State offensive line, Cooper Beebe, who, by the way, Cooper Beebe will be a stud in the NFL. Just like I feel so confident in that. K-State guard – he played tackle, guard, each side. Awesome, but he's playing. That's cool, but it is weird.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we will now start with our Week 15 reactions. And the first game we'll talk about is the Bengals and Vikings game. Game was on Saturday. Kind of feels like a long time ago since it was on Saturday. The Bengals, they found themselves down 17-3 early on this game. I believe it was actually 17-3 at halftime. And they found a way to win this game. Jake Browning, I believe, did he throw for over 300 yards in this game, or was it in a 200-yard range?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be – let me check real quick.
I know, so this game, there was a lot of, especially for Minnesota, it felt like an absolutely blown opportunity. Had controlled the game. Jamar Chase gets injured late in the game. 324. Jamar Chase injures himself late in the game, and we'll talk about that here in this game as well. The Vikings, it really feels like they've kind of run out of steam this season. And I know they're still in the playoff picture right now, but for them to lose, they're 7-7. And we'll talk about the Seattle game later. I mean, they found a way to win. So the NFC wildcard race is kind of tightening up. As for the Bengals, I mean, they're 8-6. They're in the playoff hunt right now. They're actually the 6th seed right now. The only problem I see for the Bengals going forward is Jamar Chase may not be available for the closing weeks of the season.
No, yeah. The Vikings, I mean, they could make the playoffs. When you're talking about the Vikings, Nick Mullins is serviceable, I think, was shown. But I just think
he had 2 interceptions, and he should have had a third that should have been.
Yeah, but I mean, it was better than what Dobbs was doing. He got 300 yards. He's serviceable, but you play the Lions twice and the Packers, who knows about the Packers right now? But yeah, they're kind of just like an ant team. It looks like they're not probably just going to be. If they make the playoffs, you're probably just losing in the first round.
Yeah, I think if they get in there 7th seed, but they have to play Detroit. The final 3 games are against the Lions, and I don't see them winning either of those games.
No, yeah, they'd have to run the ball. Ty Chandler looked really good. But then on the Bengals side, losing Chase is tough. But they play Pittsburgh this week. That'll be interesting. Yes, but Pittsburgh doesn't look too good. Mason Rudolph, I think, is starting. So, I mean, maybe just a change of quarterback mixes things up. But I still like the Bengals for what they're doing. Jake Browning, he's made himself some money. I don't know if he's going to stay there or whatever, but he's looking good.
Is he a free agent after the season?
I bet he is.
I'll tell you a player who's actually made some money after that game was T. Higgins. And T. Higgins has been having a down season, but that game, especially that second touchdown he had, I mean, if there's a team that needs number one receiver, he's going to get paid. We've seen Christian Kirk got overpaid. There's going to be a team out there that overpays for T. Higgins, even if you think he's really good. I think he'll be overpaid for.
I don't know because he made a circus play.
But there were multiple times that game where Jake Browning threw the ball up and he made a huge play on it.
Okay, yeah, but that's not what I want out of my receiver, though. I want him to go get 10 catches, and I don't think he's capable of that. He'd, in my head, fit perfectly with, a Michael Pittman as a 1A, 1B. The Pittman possession, Higgins.
I know this may be unrealistic, and I don't know if it's even a smart move for the team, but him with DJ Moore, for whatever, it just seems like a really good fit for me. You got DJ Moore, who's a not undersized receiver, but he's a smaller receiver, and then you have T. Higgins, who could be your physical receiver over the top. And if they do get Caleb Williams, I think that could be a very good combination for a rookie quarterback.
No, yeah, that's good. I don't think he could go somewhere and be the automatic one, though. I don't see that.
No, but with him and DJ Moore, you could have 1A, 1. So some games.
No, I get that. I'm just saying in general, I don't see him who sucks? That receiver. The Panthers. The Panthers, they get T. Higgins. I bet it'd just be Higgins has 4 games.
I think there's no way Higgins signs there. I think they'd have to
overpay him. Money, brother.
I realize that, but
let's say is money.
But let's say a Bears offered $30 million a year, or whatever. Let's just say and then Panthers offered $33. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's say the receiver market's ridiculous. Christian Kirk got $18 million. Let's say
T. Higgins is not worth.
Okay, let's say 24 to Chicago, $24 million a year. And let's say Panthers offer 26, 27.
I mean, you don't know the man's. Maybe he wants money. Maybe you don't know what he wants. Bigger city, but I don't know about taxes. I assume taxes are more expensive in Illinois than North Carolina. I don't know.
I'm not a.
That'd be my thought. Bigger city, bigger state.
But let's get back on track. The Bengals. Do you believe that they are a playoff team, or do you think the loss of Chase is too big to overcome? I mean, they play Pittsburgh this week. Then they play the Chiefs, and I believe they close out the season against. Is it
Cleveland?
Okay, Cleveland. And is that game in Cleveland or in Cincinnati?
It's in Cincy. Okay, they're pretty close. I don't think that.
That one, that, and two, Cincinnati have struggled against the Browns the past few years. So the Browns are a team that do have their number. So I don't know. I think
it makes it a lot more complicated.
Yeah, if they win this week, they'll be 9-6. but I don't know. I think they finished out the year 9-8. If I had to make a gut call, and I don't know if that's good enough to get in the AFC.
It may not be because you have the Bills surging. The Texans win against the Titans was huge because Jags. I would guess to go 3-0, but if they go 3-0 or just win 2, that's 10 wins. Texans game is interesting. Texans have an interesting schedule, and then obviously their injuries, and then interesting schedule for the Colts. They play each other week 18. Yeah, I think you have to win 10 games to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I don't know if Bengals are going to go 3-0.
Bills are going to win both their games, at least the next 2.
I don't think Bengals end up getting in. If Chase is healthy, I think they would get in. I think they have a lot of momentum going on right now. But without Chase, I just don't think that they'll be able to overcome the injury.
Yeah, dude, even the Denver, just looking at this quickly, Denver, New England, Chargers, Vegas. Denver could still win 10 games. It's may need to win 10. That's not,
where's the Raiders game at?
Oh, you and your home games. It's in Las Vegas. I don't care about Las Vegas.
I'm saying, I feel much more comfortable with Denver if they're at home than playing on the road.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to check some Denver playoff odds.
Is there anything else you want to touch on this game before we move into the next game? All right, next
game. To the next one. I'm going to check these playoff
Buccaneers. This was a game that we talked about during the week betting-wise, and this was a game that I did not want to mess with if I was betting on. And Buccaneers really took control of this game. Both teams, I think, struggled early on to really find a rhythm. But once the Buccaneers found a rhythm, they ran away with this game. Baker Mayfield throws for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the Packers just kind of showed their youth in this game. You could tell that they're a very young team. It's when they beat the Chiefs, everybody's expectations were this team's going to make the playoffs, and they may end up with 10, 11 wins because of their easy schedule. And this was actually their hardest schedule remaining on their schedule, or hardest game remaining in the rest of their games.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of show their youth. They're up and down. Jordan Love was all right in this game. I'm not going to say he played bad, but you just tell that the offense is super young, and they still have to find their way in this league.
No, yeah, if I'm the Packers, I still feel fine about who I am. I mean, maybe you don't make the playoffs this year, but you have young development. Jordan Love, I think, at least right now, it's he goes for it. Watching Jordan Love, he goes for it. So he has really good games, and he has his below-average games. I mean, I think he's proven he's a starter in this league, at least, with some upside. I think his worst case scenarios, he's in that Gardner Minshew type of Josh Dobbs this year. No, but a low end starter to high. That's his floor. I feel like this ceiling. If this year was 3 years older, Jordan Love, he could be a top 10 quarterback this year with all the injuries and stuff. So from the Packers, I feel fine about Jordan Love. If you miss the playoffs, you miss the playoffs. But for
what
Tampa,
happens? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say for Tampa, they have to like what they're doing. I mean, that win against Atlanta, big win. Ended play, Baker played. Baker not too much, but then he sort of came on and got that game-winning drive. 381, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. But 381, 4 touchdowns. It is against the Packers defense.
He played 22 of 28 passes as well. So, and had 158.3 QBR. So I was actually very impressed with Baker in this game. And we both know that I've been highly skeptical of Baker.
Mm-hmm.
But he was very good this game. And I think the biggest key to the Buccaneers turning their season around is that they figured out this run game a little bit. Rashad White's been very good.
Oh, he's been great
for a number of weeks now. 21 carries, 89 yards. He's averaging over, I believe he's averaging over 4 yards per carry each game right now.
In the past 4. Yeah, past 4 games, 100 yards on 6.7, 84 and 4.2, 102 and 4.1.
I think that's going to be the key to their success, because if you can give Baker Mayfield a serviceable to strong running game with good defensive play, I think he could be very serviceable for a franchise. I still don't think he's a franchise guy, but I definitely think if you give him pieces around him and give him foundation that can help him manage a game, or even in times make plays in crucial situations, which he has shown that he can do, I think you can win games with Baker Mayfield. So Buccaneers right now, they lead the NFC South. I know that's something that you don't want to hear because you have a lot of potential winnings in Atlanta. But if I had to make a pick right now, I'd probably pick Tampa Bay. And they have
Atlanta.
They do have a huge game this upcoming week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if Trevor Lawrence is unable to play, I have to have more confidence that Tampa Bay will find a way to win that game. As for the Packers, what I was going to ask you before you start talking about the Buccaneers is, what do you do for the Packers if this is a look ahead? So this is all just, assuming what happens. Let's say that next year the Packers, they barely miss on the playoffs. What do you do with Jordan Love? And I know a lot of it depends on other variables, but let's say you miss on the playoffs again. Because I believe after next year, they gave him instead of accepting his fifth-year option, they gave him like a 2-year.
No, I think it's just next year, but it's like a –
No, but I'm saying like next year that's what I'm saying. Next year's like his last year on the deal, I believe.
Yeah.
What do you do with the Packers?
You expect to make the playoffs next year, I feel like. You expect to. Thinking all things are fair. If you miss the playoffs, I feel like it's fine to look differently. But personally, I don't think they're missing it. I mean, I think they're like the youngest team in football or something like that. Or one of.
Their average age on offense, I believe their average age on the entire roster is 24 years old.
Yeah, and you have your own pick.
And I don't think any of the receivers are past their second year. Like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are second-year players, and then Jaden Reed's your rookie. And Luke Musgrave is a rookie as well.
And Dontavian Wicks is pretty solid for a rookie. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be great if you don't make the playoffs, but I like what I see from the Packers. I mean, you have your own picks. You have the Jets' second-round pick, which with looking like Rodgers won't play since they're out of playoff contention.
That'll be a high-end second-round pick.
It could be top 40, maybe. I don't know if it'd make top 40. That's a little tough. But I think the Packers are looking pretty solid. You need to make next year goal is at least I'd say the goal is like win a playoff game. Like with Tampa this year, I think they could win a playoff game. So they're likely going to face just Cowboys or Eagles, whoever it is. Both teams kind of looking down, and we'll talk about. But the Bucks can win a playoff game. You can't tell me that Cowboys going into Tampa, maybe Mike Evans just goes off, and I don't know.
That game, I don't think Tampa Bay could afford to fall behind by – they can't fall behind by 10 points early on. Or Cowboys
no one wants to fall back behind 10 points, man. I mean, duh.
My point is, but with Cowboys, their defense plays a lot better when they know they can rush the passer. Because, like, we're about to talk about that game here soon, but when you could run on the Cowboys and
what if we were just talking about Rashad White?
Well, yeah. I think it'll be. I think they actually have a better chance against the Eagles than they do with the Cowboys. To be honest with you,
I guess I could. I honestly think they can be both of them. I think Eagles will still win division, but yeah, I think
Eagles win division. But I think just because their secondary's been so poor, I think Baker had more success against Philly than Dallas.
I think I guess you're right because there's better secondary in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll talk about Dallas right now. This is a game that we both kind of talked about last week. I actually picked the Cowboys, but we both agreed that if the Bills win this game, that we believe that they will win the AFC East. And the way that they won this game, I mean, Josh Allen threw the ball 15 times, threw for under 100 yards. And James Cook, I believe, ran for 179 yards on 22, 26 carries somewhere.
He was a stud.
And this is what offenses with superstar quarterbacks need to realize is that you don't always have to lean on your superstar quarterback. You can let the run game open up the offense and then let your superstar quarterback make a play when needed. Not every play has to be a big home run shot. You can just have your quarterback manage the game a little bit, and then when you have to lean on their abilities, they can make a big play down the field when needed. And that's kind of what the Bills did. And we didn't really see Josh Allen make a lot of Superman plays. He just took what the defense gave him and let the run game open up the offense. And so I was very impressed with the Bills this weekend. And the Cowboys, I don't know. This is a team. Everybody's like, oh, they're winning games, they're dominating, Dak MVP. But those results came against really bad teams, and I'll give them a lot of credit for the Eagles win because there's a lot of doubt if they could beat the Eagles, even though the Eagles are struggling. But a lot of the success came against lower tier teams, and they're terrible on the road. And if they end up as a 5 seed in the NFC, it's gonna be very tough for them to win multiple.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I mean, the Cowboys. It's just such a Cowboys loss. It is. It's like, oh man, you're
all
like
the media's loving them.
You're possibly the best team, second best team in the NFL, third. I think before this week, I think it was like Niners, Ravens, Cowboys, and it's like, yeah, it seems about right. That's top 3, and then this is just such a way for them to lose. I mean, Dak's been really good. I'm not going to say I'm down on Dak. Again, the Bills have been a good team. I was telling you, you wouldn't listen to me, that the Bills play like this, they could beat anyone, and they can be dangerous. And look what they did. Just bullied them. I think that, again, you were always talking about their injuries. I think they have so much more depth. Like, we're looking at the pass rushers. Like, oh my gosh, there's another one. Even though they have pass rushers hurt, there's another one who they have who's good. So, I mean, the Cowboys loss, it sort of hurts their division odds. Eagles losing helps, but they're still down. They're winning the division, but with their tough schedule. Lions and Dolphins, and Eagles. I mean, who knows what the Eagles anymore? Face Tommy. I know Tommy DeVito lost, but he comes in doing this. You never know.
DeVito, stop.
You never know, man. Have some faith.
The DeVito train.
Be fun, Logan. It's fun.
I'm just being realistic. Do you see how he played against Saints this weekend?
Yeah, but he's.
They can't even cover plus 15 if you bet plus 15.
That's not the point, man. That's not the point. He's fun.
Tommy DeVito. Okay, yeah, he's fun.
He's fun, Logan.
Josh Dobbs is fun. If you want to care, he
was fun. Embrace the fun, Logan. Embrace the fun. It's fun.
It's playoff season, right? It's almost playoffs right now. I'm about winning football games. If you're not winning football games, then you're struggling. I could care less about Tommy DeVito. I really could.
That's boring. You're boring, fan. That's what I was saying with the Bills. As I was saying with the Bills, I mean, they're the most dangerous team. They're still not in the wild card, but they have 2 easy games. As we're saying, you probably have to get to 10, but then they face Miami. They can win the division.
Well, they have 2 free wins coming up. They'll get the 10 wins.
Chargers, you get to face Easton Stick and Bailey Zappi. If you lose one of those, it'd just be like, oh my gosh. But I like them. I've been saying this about the Bills, and imagine they get the pass game going. My one small concern is that the Bills have not yet had a game where the passing and rushing game has been clicking at the same time, but I think they'll figure that out. Because you run that well, you're going to scare everybody if James Cook.
It'll be interesting, though, because we've seen the Bills have high success, and then when they go into play, like last year, really successful back half of the year, and then they fall short.
I don't think you can't judge by that, because I think
my point is I still think I think Bills win this division, but you can't tell me there's a scenario where in the first playoff game they just struggle and they somehow.
No, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't see where you could see Joe Brady, new offense coordinator, over Ken Dorsey. I think that's huge.
No, I think that Bills, as a Chiefs fan, Bills are the team that actually scares me the most, even including Baltimore. The Bills scare me the most because we've seen Josh Allen do Josh Allen things in the playoffs and dominate. I still don't know about if I trust Lamar Jackson completely in the playoffs, but Lamar Jackson's been very good this season, especially, you lose Mark Andrews and he steps up, which we'll talk about them here shortly as well. But for the Cowboys, I'm not saying that Dak isn't a good quarterback or you should move on from him. But if they don't win this year, because I believe they're going to give him an extension, and you still have to pay CeeDee Lamb, you still have to pay Micah Parsons, is this the last, or is this the best shot that they will have to win Super Bowl with Dak Prescott?
I mean, looking at it, I'd say it's probably the best shot. This is a really good team. You got CeeDee, you got Brandon Cooks, who's been nice. You got a good O-line, Jake Ferguson. Run game's been good. You got talented defense. I'd say logically you have to look at this and be like, this is probably their best chance. But you never know. I just think you have to win a game. You have to win at least one.
No, if they lose, what happens if they lose their? Let's say they play Tampa Bay and they lose. What do you do?
Oh, I know. Well, I think it's so hard to say because McCarthy's been so good this year.
I know, but there's still late game situations and clock situations that McCarthy just does not make.
I feel like you lose against Tampa, hypothetically. Gosh, I don't
Like,
know,
what do you do?
man.
Do you pay Dak? Do you fire McCarthy? I mean, what do you do?
I don't. That's
I
so
think it's gonna
tough,
be a very tough
especially if
one
you lose like 24-20 or
because
something.
right
You
now
just
all the hype before this week. Because here's the thing: Cowboys, they had all this hype and they get destroyed by the Bills. If they beat Miami this week, that hype's gonna go all the way back. It's gonna come all the way back. And if they do that and then they in the playoffs they fall short again, it's just I don't know if Jerry Jones is gonna be able to. I don't know if he's gonna take that.
there's just such a quarterback mess though. To get rid of Dak,
Yeah,
it's such a mess right
is
now.
tough.
What are
It's
you gonna
tough.
do? Are you gonna sign Jake Browning or you gonna try to draft Bo Nix with your draft pick? I don't know. I
Yeah, it's just
I
it's
really
tough.
can't. In my head, even considering it, I can't see a situation where Dak's not the quarterback. You're not gonna play Trey Lance.
No.
Come
But
on.
I just think this kind of came in my head a few days ago because I was thinking about you have to pay CD, you're going to pay Micah. That's a lot of money, and then you have Dak Prescott extension. He'll probably be making north of $50 million a year. This roster could look a lot different once those players get under contract. It's not going to be this like I don't know. I feel like this year, if they don't take advantage of the situation around the division and around the NFL in general, I personally I don't think they ever win Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. That's just
Well,
my
yeah, I don't think so either. I feel like you could say that about, 80% teams that they're not going to win a quarterback or a Super Bowl with their pretty good quarterback. If you ask me if the Chargers would win one, I'd say no. If you ask me if I don't know, like the Eagles would win one, I'd probably currently be with Hurts. I'd probably just be saying no, but you never know.
Anything else you want to say about this game before we move on to our next game?
Just that I was right about the Bills and you were wrong. I think that's important to note.
Okay.
You thought they were just like and then they won by 21 against really good teams. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. We'll move on to the next game. Baltimore. I watched this game. I felt like I wasted pretty much 3 hours of my life watching this game. Baltimore beat Jacksonville 23-7. It was really, I believe the score at halftime, the halftime score was 10-0. And Jacksonville.
Oh, well, the end of the first half.
I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is doing. So Jacksonville, he hits a deep shot to Zay Jones. They have no timeouts. Clock's running. There's about 19 seconds. Everybody's hurrying to the line. And instead of spiking the ball, Trevor Lawrence runs a play. And instead of throwing a pass into the end zone, so you guarantee that one is either a touchdown or two, the clock is stopped, he throws it into the flat. And I believe it's Parker Washington gets tackled short of the goal line, and the half runs out. For me,
I don't mind not spiking.
Okay. But I just wanted to put that out there. With me, there's just something missing with Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence came into this league as a generational prospect, and I have not seen the leap from last year to this year. He hasn't regressed, but I think he's just kind of stayed stagnant of where he was. I mean, he's not been good this year. He has not been good, and he has a fumbling. He's not been good.
He has some issues. Okay, but here's what you act like everyone's supposed to come in and win 4 playoff games in their first 3 years or something. Last year, he won the greatest comeback.
This year, there's a point where it was.
Okay.
Hold on, because now you're just going to paint me as saying, hold on. Before, by week, so we're week 16 right now. So 15, 14, 13, 12. So 3, 4. There was a point where he had only 9 touchdowns and 10 total turnovers. And that was only a few weeks ago. That was only 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Okay.
If you why is it not playing? Okay, but you can't tell me he had. When I say he's played bad this year, he's not been great.
But you watch him recently; he makes great throws. I still think the Calvin Ridley thing never fully clicked. I mean, that's a guy who didn't play football for like 2 years.
No, I do want to say he is playing the high ankle sprain, and I think it's kind of like
he's hurt. He's been hurt. His weapons.
I'm not saying he's not a franchise. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I'm just saying I was expecting him to take that leap this year. I'm not winning. Like I'm not saying you have to go win Super Bowl, but just when you watch games, you see the progression of the quarterback.
I see a quarterback who makes great throws still. Maybe he's having a turnover thing early in the year. I'll agree that he was. Has he played how I thought he would this year fully? No. I,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not
the
saying he's been
offensive
bad, but
line isn't fantastic. I don't know. I don't think he's someone where you need to be heaping a ton of criticism on. I mean, last year he pulled off one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history, competed with the Super Bowl champs in the next round. I don't know. I don't know why you're. I mean, he's not playing fantastic this year. I agree, but I don't think he has a wide receiver one. Kirk's hurt now.
Kirk, I think is
Zay Jones has been out.
Kirk is the big reason I think why Jacksonville's kind of taking a step back after being 8-3. I mean, Kirk is a guy on third downs you can depend on, a guy in short field situations you can depend on. Calvin Ridley, I don't know. There's just something
when you miss 2 years of football.
I know. There's just something with Jacksonville. There's just something missing. And I don't know if they need a top end player or they just need. There's just something missing.
How many? Lawrence, top end player in my opinion. Josh Allen, top end player in my opinion. Really have nothing else. I mean, Trayvon Walker has 6 sacks this year, so maybe he has a third-year burst. He's not been bad, but he's been nothing fantastic. In the secondary, I feel like they have one guy. I feel like Darius Williams has 4 picks. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought someone was up there.
But I'm just saying, like overall, I'm not.
Yeah, they don't have many stars.
There's just an element missing with this team.
They just don't. They have a lot of average. I feel like on their roster, they don't have
offensive line speed up now. Offensive line speed up now.
You look at like the Chiefs, who I haven't even been. You still have Mahomes, you still have Kelsey, you still have Chris Jones, you still have Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, you have Trent McDuffie. I mean, their overall depth of high-end talent is very low. Yeah, Nick Bolton. They don't have the high-end talent these other teams. And like the Ravens, you look at them. You have Lamar, Mark Andrews, who's now hurt. But I mean, you got Ronnie Stanley. He's playing this year, right? I feel like I should know.
He's been hurt though.
He's been hurt. Yeah, he's been hurt. That's what
he had to come. He had to come out of this game. He had to come out of this game, and he didn't come back.
Yeah.
So
like the Ravens are a team. Medu, I should know how to pronounce his name too. I'm a little disappointed in my last minute. Mandubike, 12 sacks this year. He's a free agent. That'll be interesting. They have Geno Stone. Is he still leading the league in picks? He has 6. Let's see, is that the lead? I'm not sure. But they're like, I guess the Ravens don't have a ton of Roquan Smith, stud. Kyle Hamilton's turning to studs. Like they have studs. They have many more studs.
The names you mentioned with Jacksonville. So Josh Allen,
Bland is
free agent. Calvin Ridley, free. I don't think they signed Calvin Ridley back.
Well, I don't think Ridley is that. No, yeah, I let Ridley go. I don't think he's probably, unless you can get him for like cheap, because you're like, dude, you didn't play 2 years.
Here's the thing with Ridley though.
You may be able to get Ridley for like.
No, let me explain. You're not. He's not. I don't think he's going to take a cheap deal. I think because here's the thing.
He may not get
but because he got suspended, his rookie deal was still under contract he was still under a rookie contract. He's never had this is the first time he's got a contract besides his rookie contract. And it wasn't a big deal. So I think he's going to take, if there's a team that overpays him, he's going to go there.
I don't see anyone overpaying. But the Panthers force it, or the Bears. That'd be 2 teams. They just. I mean,
I don't think I don't think the Bears will, because I think the Bears have draft capital where they could easily take a receiver with their first round pick. The Panthers though, they don't have a first round pick, and they don't have a lot. They gave up a lot of draft capital for Bryce Young. I think that's a team that could overpay for Calvin Ridley.
Maybe, but if they don't, I don't see anyone else doing it. So. Assuming no one overpays, I think you get Ridley back for cheap. Josh Allen, you have to keep. They will keep him. They will figure it out.
He was a trade. He was like into trade discussions last season.
No, yeah,
for teams that were going to the playoff run. So, but he's definitely earned a big contract. On the Ravens side of things,
they're looking good.
They're looking good. It still seems like it's definitely the receivers have definitely been upgraded from previous seasons. Mm-hmm. But I still think that's the one. I don't want to say weak link on the team, but still a question mark.
Yeah, losing Mark Andrews was not helpful, but Isaiah Likely, that dude's good. You got tight end. You're good on tight end, even because I know they were talking about Andrews could come back late in the playoffs.
So we'll see about that. Well, I think a lot of this talk of that team say player come back. I think it's a lot of optimism, and they're not closing the door on his season. But like
you see a lot of players play through stuff.
I know, but he broke his fibula or tibia. It's fibula or tibia and ankle damage. I don't. Maybe he could, but
is that the official injury?
I believe he fractured.
I thought that was a thought, though. I'll look it up. Yeah, he suffered a cracked fibula, an ankle.
So I don't think it was a full break, so it was probably not as bad as I thought.
I don't know. You see players play through stuff. If it's an AFC Championship game, Mark Andrews wants to go to the Super Bowl, and then he can have 2 weeks off after. I could see him playing. And it's cold weather in Baltimore, so that could be their advantage if they secure that 1 seed. I don't know. I like them a lot. I think I watched Lamar. As I was saying this the other night. I think in there he has an MVP shot. His stats may not be glorious, but if you watch Lamar, that dude's making plays. He's making accurate throws. I think what everyone says about him not being a passer, I think if you think that now, you're not watching Lamar Jackson. You're just not. That dude is a stud. Fully worth the contract. I'm all in on the Ravens. I like the Ravens a lot. Losing Keaton Mitchell did suck because he's been nice.
That's another thing I was about to bring up. That his speed brings such element to the run game because Gus Edwards he's not going to offer you much in the open field. He's just a north and south runner, short yards back, goal line back. He doesn't really offer a lot of juice as in speed and elusiveness. So I think losing Keaton Mitchell is actually a huge loss for this offense. But as you've seen with Lamar, you can put any running back there and they'll be productive. I just wonder if that explosive play will be something that they miss during their playoff run.
It definitely, it was not. It is very unfortunate. It's just like he's about to break away on that run and barely got caught. It looked nasty.
Well, he hybrid extended. It looked like a hybrid extension, but
it was nasty.
It was not good.
I still like them. I still like them a lot. I think they're clearly the best team in the AFC. You have the best.
Do you think they end up with the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that another team gets a 1 seed, or do you think
Miami could, or I think didn't the Chiefs have some shot? But now I think Ravens just need to win one more game, and they'll have a better record than the Chiefs.
Well, no, Baltimore's 11-3 right now. Chiefs are 9-5. So the best the Chiefs could do are 12-5.
So you have to win.
Baltimore's to win 2 more games.
You're not losing to Pittsburgh, and I think Baltimore wins one of these next 2 and beats Pittsburgh, and they should. I think they'll be the 1.
I think they'll win the 1 seed as well. I don't see them losing to Pittsburgh. And I think that game's in Baltimore as well. So I think they end up with the 1 seed, but it'll be interesting. I think rest of the season, you really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, this season has proven that the predictable is unpredictable. So I think they do end up with a 1 seed, and I just want to see. They're a team where I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to playoff play. So they may prove me wrong and win a couple games. It'd be an AFC Championship game, but until then, I'm still.
You just need me to win one game to make the AFC Championship game.
Oh yeah. Anything before we move on to our last game of the week that we'll be talking about?
Nah.
Okay. Last game, game last night. Seattle stunned the Eagles. Eagles, really that first half, it really looked like they were going to run away with this game. And I think the turning point of this game was a false start on Jason Kelce on 3rd and 1. When they're about to do the brotherly shove play. I believe if they get that first down, I believe they score a touchdown, go at 14-0. But instead, they ultimately end up settling for a field goal, taking a 10-0 lead. And then Seattle get a field goal at the end of the first half and then score on the first possession in the second half to make it 10-10. And the Eagles, it's not a good vibe right now. I don't think not on any side of the ball. Now, most of the blame will go on the defense because the defense has been one of the worst units in the league the past few weeks. But when I watch Jalen Hurts, and I know he had the flu last night, which is another ailment I think he's dealing with, in addition to his knee, he just does not look right. He doesn't.
Something's not right.
And I believe it's his knee. His knee is not.
He was playing so well to start the year.
There's been every game they talk about his left knee, and that's why I don't really understand why they keep doing these design run plays where I believe they know that his knee is not right, and they keep putting him, I believe, in harm's way. So that's something I don't really get, but I think he's not 100% healthy. The defense is playing poorly, and I think the belief in that building and in that team is slowly declining within that locker room.
No, yeah, there's definitely
I
something.
mean, even Jalen Hurts last night after the game said that there's not as much commitment as there needs to be.
They may need this if their season's going to turn around because of a loss. This is the last one. It can't be a game blown up by the Cowboys. It has to be now. Has to be now.
Well, because they play Giants twice and Arizona once. If you lose one of those games, there's no what.
If you lose one of those games, I mean, you're not doing jack diddly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's early in the season. Jalen Hurts is playing so well. I was like, man, he looks like a stud. A.J. Brown and him were just like that. They were like the best connection in football possibly. They just, outside of Tua, Tyreek, they were just hitting on every pass, deep ball. It all worked, and that's definitely it's not where it was. Is not where it was, and the defense is actually fine for the most part until you can't let Drew Lock hit a game-winning throw. I mean, Drew Lock's no bum, but you can't let that happen. It's like I don't even feel better about Seattle. I don't. Like
that win did save their season though. Like
it saved their season, but I don't feel better as them as like they're a better team. I feel the exact same way. Like this game is all to me.
Okay, do you feel better in terms of their playoff chances?
Playoffs. Well, yeah, because you won a game. I mean, that's logic. But it's turn of the team. No, I don't feel better. But the Eagles, I just feel they need to. They play Giants first. Yeah, because you play Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
Yeah,
you need to go out there and just dominate, brutalize them. I mean, you need to go out there and drop like a 30-7, a 34-7, 34-10, something like that. Because it's not good.
During this
lean into the run game. Lean into the run game. Give Swift
20 carries. During this 3-game losing streak, Jalen Hurts has thrown 1 touchdown. And I know he has the rushing touchdowns, which a lot of those are.
I saw that's 28% of his fantasy points this year, the tush push.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's good stuff.
Jalen Hurts has been a quarterback, and we've had this conversation before. I think he's very good, but I do think there's still questions about him. How good is he?
Okay, Logan, is there a quarterback you don't have questions about besides Mahomes? Burrow?
I'm just saying Jalen Hurts. How good is he?
He's hurt. He had the we watched it as Chiefs fans. We watched.
No. I'm not okay. I'm just saying, is there he's okay? What is he right now?
I don't know. He's top 6, probably top 7. I mean, if you put,
I'm not saying he's outside top 10. I agree with you where he's at.
Yeah, but are you gonna quarterbacks can get hurt and then struggle?
I know, but he has good weapons.
I'm taking Mahomes over him. I'm taking Burrow. I'm taking Allen. Lamar. Those are my only 4 locks who, like, next 5 years I'm taking over. Probably Herbert. That's it. Maybe.
Yeah, I still think I would take him over Lawrence right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a top 6 quarterback, man. Are you going to question everyone because they don't have an MVP
I'm not questioning it fully.
He was playing like an MVP, and then he hurt his knee. The offense is just not clicking right now. I'm not going to question.
I mean, AJ Brown's production has fallen off a cliff.
No, yeah. I'm not going to question him as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback.
Now, there was a throw last night. His first pick last night, I don't know what he was doing. They were up 17-13, and he forces a end zone shot when they have control of the game. There was no reason to take that risk. I mean, let me see what yard line they were on when he threw that.
No, it's like a 30.
They were on. It was 1st and 10 at Seattle's 45 with 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know what. And they were moving the ball down the field.
I mean, they were trying to give his receiver a shot. Not a good decision.
And then for Seattle, I thought it was actually very impressive the way that they were able to hang in there and win this game. They were down 10-0 early on. I thought the Eagles may just run away with this thing and kind of prove people wrong that they are going to turn their season around a little bit. But Drew Lock came in. It was very weird before the game started. It was
no idea.
Thought was Drew Lock was going to play, and then 5 minutes before the game was like, well, Geno Smith's suiting up, or he's suited, but they don't know if he'll play. He can play in case something happens, but I think Drew Lock came in there, did really well. The JSN throw, Very good throw, very good catch. I think JSN, I mean, you know that I'm really high on him. But, I mean, for a rookie receiver to burn, and I know Bradbury's not. I mean, Eagles' corners are they're pretty old.
And again, Slay didn't play.
Yeah, so I think JSN next year could take that big leap, second-year leap. I am interested to see what they do with Tyler Lockett. I don't know if they'll move on from Tyler Lockett necessarily, but if he kind of takes a backseat in his role in the offense next year. But I think Seattle, I mean, their upcoming games, they have Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Arizona. I think they win all three of those games.
I mean, yeah, they should, but you could lose to a Pittsburgh. You can lose to Arizona, division game. Arizona's not looking great, but still division. I feel better for them to make the playoffs, but again, I don't feel much better about the Seahawks.
Okay, do you?
I think they
make
face. Yeah, because I don't believe in Minnesota. Well, even if I don't believe in Minnesota, I mean, it's like the Packers who are sort of struggling, but the Packers have any.
We said this 2 weeks ago that Packers have an easy schedule, and they've lost 2 straight.
Yeah, I mean, you lost to Tampa, but you should beat Carolina, Minnesota, Chicago. Chicago lost, which was very helpful for them. Yeah, I think they make the playoffs, but they're just a team who's going to probably make the playoffs and lose in the first round. I don't feel anything special. I wouldn't pick them to win. I mean, they could play Eagles.
Yeah, because they're either going to be playing Dallas or Detroit or Eagles.
I think like Rams are the much more interesting team. The Rams have an offense that can on any week drop 40 on anyone because you have Stafford, who's probably still a top 10 guy, Cooper Kupp, Puka, Kyron Williams. I don't feel anything special with Seattle. You got to win against a team who gave you the win. They didn't. They won last drive. Locke hit the throw to JSN, but Eagles kept them. Eagles let Seattle stay on, and they took advantage, but nothing, in my opinion, that they've added.
Well, that'll do it for our Week 15 reactions. We will now move into our confidence meter, and for our confidence meter segment, we will be talking about each current division leader and assess how confident we are in each of those teams. So the first one we'll start with are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's do from a scale of 1 to 10. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, from a scale of 1 to 10, where's your confidence in the Jaguars?
I was so much more confident a couple weeks ago. I was going to call them like a sleeper to make the Super Bowl, but I'm like a 4. I still think they win their division. It's like that. Do I think they win their first game? I mean, it could be against Buffalo or Miami or Cleveland. Flacco, you want to mess with Joe Flacco? Elite Joe Flacco? I don't know, man.
Cleveland's defense.
Yeah, but we all know Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's a stud. Everyone loves a good Joe Flacco comeback story. But I mean 4. I don't like them too much. I think they have issues, but I still think at the same time they're not a team to be like, oh, they can't win. Like if they get themselves momentum, I still think they could be dangerous, but right now I'm not feeling it.
They're not a Super Bowl team to me. They're definitely a playoff team. I still think they end up winning this division. But I don't think they get to the AFC Championship game or anything like that. They could easily be one and done. I'm around the same area as you, 4 or 5. That's probably where I'm at. Because right now it's a 50% chance they even win their division because of their 8-6 and Houston's 8-6 and Colts are 8-6. So
yeah,
they're not even locked to win their own division. And if they lose this week, if certain things go wrong for them this week, and they lose in either Houston or Colts win, they could find themselves outright out of the playoff picture right now.
No, yeah, that's
so 4 or 5, and that actually may be generous because Trevor Lawrence is hurt, offensive line injuries, Christian Kirk's out. I don't think there's a way that they build any momentum because of injuries, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence is ever going to be at 100% the rest of the year because he's playing on a high ankle sprain.
No, yeah, honestly, the best case scenario is Lawrence doesn't play. They can beat Tampa. They have.
He's dealing with concussion. He may not even play this week, so yeah.
No, yeah, CJ Beathard can beat Tampa. What Tampa are we going to see? Who knows? I mean, is Baker having a good game? I mean, we don't. NFC South, we don't know. So best case scenario is just Trevor's out with concussion. That's bad to say, but you get what I'm saying. Rest is the ankle. CJ Beathard comes in, beats them. They're 9-6. Then they get to face Carolina and Tennessee, I mean, you can't lose those. If you lose those, then yeah, nothing matters. You're out.
Next team, our hometown Chiefs. They are currently the 3 seed. What is your confidence meter in the Chiefs?
I'm a little higher on them. I'm gonna give them a 6. I am higher on them.
We are right on the same. I was gonna say 6 as well.
I am higher on them, but this is like peak. Rashee Rice playing 60 snaps. He ran more routes like a receiver this week, which was very nice. Rashee Rice is the key. He's the key. They want to BS. I still think if they make the Super Bowl, they BS their way there. But if they want to do it, Rashee Rice has to be good. 9 targets, 9 catches, 91 yards. And they were not just the screens, which he does well. I mean, there's still that stuff. And the touchdown was a little shovel thingy from McKinnon, just did the shovel. But 9 for 91, another touchdown, 7 touchdowns, 754 yards on the year. He's not a 1 yet, in my opinion. Is there a chance he's a 1 next year? Who knows? But the defense I still like. I still trust Mahomes. It's tough just seeing Tony struggle because I think Tony would – you can't go away from
I think Tony has so much talent, but I just don't know if
you can't go away from Tony. You don't need to give him the ball time, but you can't go away from him. Maybe you got to just lean into, like, hand him the ball type of stuff. I think you need him, though.
But here's the thing. If you do that, it's going to be so predictable. If every time's in the backfield, the defense is going to know that most.
Okay, but you can still mess around with it. It's Andy Reid. He's still one of the most creative offensive minds to ever coach football. So I think it could work, but Rashee Rice is big. It's nice seeing him run routes, not just catch screens. And then the defense, I still like the defense, even though it's not looking as it once was. Not very few defenses.
I mean, it's still not allowing that many points, though. I know it hasn't been as explosive and gaining as many sacks, but I think it's still not allowing over 20 points a game. I mean, they're still allowing 17.
I mean, it's New England. So
I know, but like even against like the Eagles, in Bills, they lost 20-17. Bills just scored 31.
The Bills also did not play but the Bills played completely different. They did not run the ball as they should have in the second half. No, but a 6. Defense still good. You still have Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones. It's a 6.
I'll say 6 as well. The only reason I still think the Chiefs can go to the Super Bowl this year is because of the state the AFC is in right now with injuries and the amount of backup quarterbacks are playing. That's the only reason. If this was any other year, this was any other previous year, and this is a Chiefs team that was playing, I wouldn't have much faith. But because AFC, there's still a lot of question marks with all these teams, especially the teams that are currently winning divisions. That's not the only reason I want to say, but the main overbearing reason why I still think the Chiefs could go Super Bowl. So I'm with you, 6. But the thing with Chiefs' upcoming schedule, they're supposed to beat these teams pretty comfortably, so there's not going to be a lot of confidence growing.
I don't think you say that about Bengals quite yet. I think Chiefs win. But that's going to
if Chase is out.
Chase is not the thing that's the most scary part about the Bengals Chiefs. They hold the Chiefs offense pretty well. I know defense has not been as great, but that's still a tough one. I'm not going to be like, we should beat them by 8. No, that's one possession game.
Next team, currently the 2 seed, the Miami Dolphins. Where do you assess the Dolphins right now?
They're another 6. I wish we could, I'll say 5.
6. Man, we are all. I'm saying I was thinking 5 when we were talking.
I wish I could. 5. This would be much better for Miami if we could do it after the Cowboys game. I don't think nothing's really changed. I mean, they should have beat the Titans. I'm not going to say like them losing to Titans makes me think they're not as good of a team. They should have beat them. It was a fluky 5 minutes. It happens. But I mean, still blowing teams out who you should. Still haven't had a great win.
That's the key right there.
They haven't had a great win. Tough. They haven't had a great win. So yeah, it's a 5 or 6. I mean,
I'm going to say 5 because
Dallas will be
here's
the fun one.
Dolphins have always seemed like a finesse team. They've been a finesse team the whole year. They've been a team. Can you trust them? Can you not trust them? That has always been a constant. But the new thing is now they're dealing with injuries, especially up front. Tyreek Hill's hurt. Your offensive line picked up a few injuries. Connor Williams out for the year, torn ACL.
Yeah, injuries.
Tua needs to have a clean pocket, especially if you could take away his first, second read. That's when he tends to struggle, and of course, he's going to beat up on bad teams. That's what Tua does.
I think,
That's
but
what.
he beat up on a good defense.
Okay,
on
that's
Sunday.
okay. That's okay.
I think that's important.
When your offense can't do anything, your defense is going to get tired, and they're going to get beat up.
No, yeah, I do think it is.
I
good
think
21 of 24.
Here's the reason why Dolphins. They're a 5 for me. They don't beat good teams. They have not beat a team over 500 in over a calendar year. And their last three remaining games are teams over 500. And then if you're in the playoffs, you're going to have to play teams over 500. I think
that's some breaking analysis there.
Huh?
No, I said that's some breaking analysis there, man. They're going to play teams in the playoffs.
My point is, if they – why – I mean, I was tempted to say a 3 because I don't – if you can't beat a team – with a winning record, I don't know what you're going to do. And Tua, I don't think is a franchise quarterback. Has to play within the system, has to have everything perfect around him. And Mike McDaniel's coaching, I still don't trust him late in games and time management, clock, timeouts. I don't trust Mike McDaniel. I don't trust this quarterback.
No, yeah. I mean, the Dallas game will be interesting. You still have Tyreek. He played really well against the Jets defense, which is legit. Waddle was really good, who got hurt, but he came back.
Waddle's 5 or 6 all year, I feel like.
Yeah, he keeps getting hurt. That's an issue. But 5 or 6, they still have a ton of talent. Can't give up on them.
Next team, we'll talk about the 1 seed AFC, the Ravens. I feel like I already know you're going to go with this. I think you're going to go 9 or 10. That's my guess.
I'm going to go with 10. I'm going 10. It helps that you're in the AFC, which I don't find strong. I find the top end in the NFC. Well, I find one team in the top end in the NFC. But Lamar's playing great. The defense is great. That's really the thing. I know you can have your injuries with your weapons, and you may not throw for 300 yards a game. But you have like the possibly best defense in football. And Lamar is playing like top 3 quarterback in the league, and he's throwing the ball. And he throws the ball well. And if you say he doesn't, I think you're dumb. Watch him throw the ball. He hits nice throws. Is he going to be Drew Brees and just like – probably not. But he still makes great throws, and I trust him enough, and I trust his team enough. And outside their weapons, which are a little weak, but you still have Zay Flowers, talented. Odell, experienced, used to be super athletic and talented, still talented. Rashad Bateman, not bad. I mean, he was a first-round pick for a reason. Isaiah Likely, still good. Gus Edwards is experienced running back. He's played in big games. I like Ravens. I think that I'm pretty much saying that the Ravens-Niners game, I mean, that's what I'd pick for the Super Bowl right now. I feel like that's the obvious pick, but I feel very confident in that. And I don't see no team in the AFC has a higher ceiling except Buffalo. That's it.
I'm going to say 8 here, and I agree with everything. It's not that I disagree with anything you're saying. I think will those receivers come back to bite them? But I think Keith and Mitchell loss is also a big one. And if Ronnie Stanley can't play, I mean that's your left tackle right there. So if he's either limited or he can't play consistently, that's a major loss. So I would say an 8, but I still think right now them and the Bills are playing the best football right now in the AFC. I still have my question marks, of course, about playoff play. But I'm with you that I think the Ravens do have a shot to make some noise in the postseason. I just need to see it before I believe it. That's all. That's the only reason I'm not at 10 or 9 or 10 right now. But I still believe in them as a team. Just not as high as you. Next team, and we'll switch over to the NFC side of things. The first team we'll talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now, I am not a fan. This is how I feel because, the Falcons, as I've said many times through these episodes, Falcons are going to ruin my division parlays. Stupid.
I'm shocked that you put them in 8 of your 10 parlays.
Okay, Logan, you don't understand. They were great odds, and they were looking really good this year. I thought Ritter would be – I don't need to go into it. I'd say at least for Tampa – now, this is like for Tampa's expectations. There's 7 to me. Baker's looking nice. You still have talent. Devin White didn't play. Or did he play at all? I know he didn't start. But,
I don't think he played that much.
Yeah, because then he said I couldn't go. So that's a little weird, but you still won the game by flying colors. I like what I'm seeing from Baker. Still got the vet weapons. Now, are they going to win the Super Bowl? No, they're not. We all know that. They're not winning a Super Bowl. That'd be a hell of a story, though, but they're not. But can they win a playoff game against one of these poorly playing NFC East teams? Hell yeah. I mean, this Jags game will be – if they win the Jags game, I feel like they got it locked up. But I like what I'm saying.
Yeah, because we don't know yet about the Jags game. If you ask me if this is like a week later and we knew that they beat the Jags, I'd probably be with you. I'm going to say a 5.5. 5.5 or 6.
Are you doing it in a halves? I don't think that's allowed, man.
Okay, fine. I'll do 6. I'll do 6. I think – I mean, yeah, they'll host a playoff game. They'll probably lose it. But I think for them, if getting to the playoffs this year would be a huge achievement for the team. I mean, they were picked to finish last by a lot of people, including myself. I don't think a lot of people gave them a chance of even winning this division. Now, the division's terrible. I mean,
division kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
But I mean, they're taking advantage of their division falling apart, and they're continuing to win games. So they're staying competitive. The Packers game was a game where I thought Packers would win, but I wasn't really confident in picking that game. But the Bucs, I mean, you dropped 34. Baker Mayfield probably plays his best game of the season and probably the best game of his career in recent time. And I think for them, like you said, it would be a really good season just to make the playoffs. But if we're talking about where, playoff success and all that, I'd probably say a 6. And I still don't know if they win their division. I mean, that division, I think.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Atlanta could still win it, man.
I think I would take the Saints out of the conversation. I know the Saints have a better record than Atlanta and all that, but when you watch the Saints, it's just so uninspiring. I mean, Derek Carr is. Not good.
I agree.
Not
I agree.
good.
No one likes the Saints.
I
don't know anyone who likes watching the Saints in the past, since Breeze. Just put in Jameis.
It's not fun. It's not fun to watch. Next thing we'll talk about, I think this will be an interesting team. I wonder where both of us have this team. The Detroit Lions. Where do you think they are right now?
They were playing bad. They were. I think there's something really interesting here. See, they're very dependent if they can get some home games. They can be the 2 seed. I think I have them at an 8. And I think that's situations helping them. They beat Minnesota twice. And let's say they beat Cowboys. I don't know the tiebreakers with Philly. If Philly goes undefeated, they do because they'd have the same conference record. So I'm not exactly sure how that falls. Here's the thing. Who also, the Niners, Baltimore, it's a tough game. You're going to beat Washington. Rams is not an easy game to win. Niners have a 6 games in a row. Are they going to go 9-0? I mean, they're the best team in football, but they can drop a game. And then again, I don't know how all the tiebreak goes, but there's a shot. They are the 1 seed. There's a shot. And I think they just need to turn it around. I still trust them. I know that you literally have nothing to say positive about a single quarterback. Literally, I don't know if you have anything positive to say about any quarterback you are overly positive about. You're not a Purdy guy. You're not a Dak guy. You're not a Goff guy. You're not a Baker guy. You're not a Lamar guy yet. You don't like Tua. You're just talking about Trevor Lawrence. And Mahomes.
I never said Lamar. I say I want to see the playoffs.
Logan, you're not. We've debated each other, talked to each other for years. You're not a Lamar guy. I think we know that. But so,
okay, can we stay on track of conversations? Let's stop sidetracking. Start.
I'd like
to let's just.
But as I was just preparing to say, I know you won't like Goff because, again, you don't really like your quarterbacks. But I mean, can
you hear what I say before you assume what I'm going to say? You don't know what I'm going to say.
If you say anything positive about Goff, I'd be shocked. But you still have Amon-Ra, Laporta, Montgomery, Gibbs. The defense can play a little better. You beat Dallas. You're looking nice. Four games. You can go 4-0 to end regular season, 2 division, a good win against Denver where they're a fine team and you kind of whoop them. And then Dallas, who's still a good team. I don't know. I like the Lions. Do I think they win the Super Bowl? No, but do they make it? But right now, they may be my second favorite team to do so. Maybe third. I really like the Rams. I like the Rams a lot, and they could be a weird team. I like the Lions. 8.
Right now, for me, there's 7, and I agree with you that a lot of this comes down to circumstances and where they're playing their playoff games. If they get up even as a 2 seed, I would probably put them at 8 if I knew that they were a 2 seed, because I think Jared Goff at home in a dome, I think he's a very good quarterback at home when there's not a lot of weather conditions or anything like that. If they end up being the 3, I still like him as a 7 where I have him. It just will be. Here's the thing, though. Let's say Dallas is a 2 seed. I think as long as if they don't have to go to Philadelphia, I think Jared Goff could play very well at Dallas.
Oh, you're being pretty positive here about Jared Goff.
Because like I said, you assumed what I was going to say. I think if you can avoid going to Philly, if you can avoid going to any of these places where it's cold weather. Because if you're playing at home, you're going to be at home in a dome. If you play in Dallas, you're in a dome. And San Francisco is pretty nice weather year-round. So I think if you can play in those 3 places and avoid going to Philadelphia, and even you're not going to play in Seattle, and Rams are a dome team, so you'd play even regardless of that. So right now I put him at 7. I still have my questions about Jared Goff as a whole, but I still think if you're playing in a dome or playing San Francisco, I like Detroit. It's just the pass defense is still what worries me. I don't want to overreact to what I saw on Saturday against Denver, because I don't like Denver at all. I think what they've been doing is fluky. So I don't want to overreact to that, but I'll say a 7 for the Lions.
Dropping 42 on Denver is pretty dang good. Denver has good defense. That was good. And I want Detroit Rams first round is my dream. That would be awesome. Get Stafford and Goff facing the former teams. That's meant to be. That's meant to be.
Next team, Dallas Cowboys, currently the 2 seed in NFC. Where do you have the Cowboys right now?
I know we sort of talked bad about the Cowboys, and I sort of did. I still have them at a 7. Yes, you got whooped in a big game. It happens. It's the NFL. It's not like you win every game by a blowout. It's just not how it goes. Was it concerning watching the Bills run over you so easly? Yes.
I mean, the Cardinals ran for over 150 yards on the
Their rushing defense has not been that great. You still have Dan Quinn, one of the best defense coordinators in the league. Dak still played really well. Now, did you play? Yeah, he played bad. I get all that. If you still look at the overall body of work, CD's been one of the best receivers. You have some nice weapons. You have good defense. You have takeaway defense. They have a huge upcoming schedule. But I still like them. I like them definitely more than the Eagles right now. I mean, geez, even if Eagles win the division, I mean, come on, they look bad. Cowboys, it's a bump. If they would have beat Bills, I probably would have been at a 9. That's a tough loss. You have to at least go down 2 points confidence-wise, but they're not out of it. By no means are they out of it. You got to pick yourself up. Big Miami game. It's a big game. You got to pick yourself up, keep moving. We'll see, but gosh, I can't believe I can't do an episode next week because I'd love to talk about a couple of these games after.
Well, if you can find a way to do an episode or record, I know you'll be super busy. So, but if you find a way, I'm totally open to.
Yeah, 40 hours on the road, about be a lot of driving, and then get there. I mean, the one chance would be Wednesday, but I've done a lot of driving, hotel room with 2 other dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
For me, if the Eagles won last night, I would legitimately say a 5, because I don't think the Cowboys could afford to be a 5 seed. If the Cowboys want to make a Super Bowl run, I think they have to win this division. I think they have to be a top 3 seed. You have to avoid San Francisco in the first 2. If you can play San Francisco in the championship game, I still think San Francisco wins. But if Cowboys make the championship game, I think a lot of Cowboys fans, they would be disappointed if they lose that game. But getting to the NFC championship game, Cowboys fans should be happy about that season if that's
they'd want a Rams to beat Detroit.
Yeah, they cannot afford to be the 5 seed, because you'll get you'll most likely get a free win in the first round, but then you're most likely playing San Francisco in the second round. And I think San Francisco,
you're gonna have to play San Francisco. That's the thing.
No, I know, but I'm saying Cowboys fans are not gonna be happy if they get bounced in the second round.
No, yeah, that's not good.
For them, right now, I would say I'm going to say a 6. And I know that may seem very pessimistic, but I think they have to win this division. And I think right now, Eagles have a really easy schedule. They should go 3-0. Cowboys have a pretty tough schedule to close out the season. And if they don't win the division, like I said, they're going to have to face 49ers second round. And I don't really give them a good shot against 49ers. I mean, 49ers have always been able to beat them.
I mean, yeah, the Niners are the team. They are the team.
Speaking of the Niners, that is our last team that we'll talk about. I'm pretty sure we both have the same answer on this one.
I mean, Purdy is playing like a stud. He's favorite for MVP. And there are 5 players on his offense who are better football players than it. Ayuk's better. Ayuk's better football.
Ayuk's damn good. Ayuk, I think, is one of the most underrated.
Purdy's okay, I think I've talked about this a lot. I don't think Ayuk's underrated anymore. I think everyone knows what Ayuk is. In my opinion, I don't think he's underrated. I think we all know he's pretty damn good. Is he better than Purdy as a football player? Probably. Purdy's, though, I know you're not a big Purdy guy, but, man, I like what I was seeing from Purdy. Near 70% completion, 29 besides that weird 3-game skid, he's looked great. McCaffrey, offense player of the year, defense, still – Arizona got some stuff, but that was kind of late, and one of it was a late touchdown. And Trey McBride, I know from that game, McBride's a stud. Oh, it's confirmed. But, yeah, they're 10. They're my Super Bowl favorite. I think we're looking at a Christmas night Super Bowl preview. I think I'd give that over 50% chance that Niners-Ravens is a Super Bowl. And, yeah, they're the best team. If they could go 9-0 and then win the Super Bowl, this would be one of the craziest just like stretches of dominance. And they don't have any flaws. Not really.
I'm also 10. The only concern, and it's a legitimate concern because they deal with it every year, is just injuries. Will they be able – I know we're pretty late in the season, but that's still the thing that has to be in the back of your mind every time you talk about the 49ers is will they stay healthy? Because they play physical football. They've already had a few injuries this year where players have had to deal with. That's the only question mark I really have about this team. And I know I'm not a huge Brock Purdy guy. I'm curious to see how he'll play in the playoffs in big spots when things get tight. But I think for right now, if you're asking me right now, it's a 10. And the main question I have is just injuries. Injuries more than Brock Purdy. Even though I saw my question.
It's been cool to see him not hurt. It's been cool. I think
last week he had an injury scare, so.
Ayuk's missed one.
Well,
game.
Debo got hurt in the Cleveland game.
Debo missed 2. Ayuk missed 1.
And Trent Williams missed.
Yeah, 2. So they've been hurt, but they're still. If they're
healthy. It's not like the last couple seasons where the players have been hurt in big spots. So
yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see. I think even wanting the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, it's nice to see the Niners not hurt. That's just fun because they're the best team in football. I don't think they're on their own tier. They're on their own tier. And
how many more? How do I phrase this question? Because you always have Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy's on a cheap contract. But how many more years of this total dominance do you think the 49ers have? And I know that's a question that is not just black and white. There's a lot of things that go into it. But, Debo, I believe, is 28, 29. Kittle's getting up there in age. Trent Williams is very old left tackle. How many years?
I don't think players. I think health and stuff. Players. McCaffrey is how old?
He's 27 or 28.
How many productive running backs are older than him right now? Henry, who's slowing down a little. James Conner may be older.
James Conner's like 30, I think.
Yeah, so that's it. Dude, Christian McCaffrey is going to be good for 5 more years. I think new age.
I'm not going to say 5. I'll say
I think 5.
I think he has 2 to 3 prime years left.
Did you think we always do this? Did you think Tom Brady would get? No one thought Tom Brady would get to 45 except the few.
Okay, but that's a completely different position.
I don't. People have been saying Derrick Henry. People have been saying Derrick Henry. He still has 800 yards this year. He's still top 5 rushing. I just think it's the overall world of sports. Look at LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. They're still 3 top 10 players, and they're all 36 and above. I think the world of sports, players last longer. So I'm not scared about Debo. I'm not scared about McCaffrey. Trent Williams still he probably has a couple more years, and you just you get players and you get better. You have your front office is obviously insane. I mean, you draft Fred Warner in like the 5th round. They're nuts. They're gonna be fine. Kyle Shanahan's there. Brock Purdy's good. They'll be fine for a while.
Okay.
No concerns.
Okay. Yeah, I think this year, though, you have to put them at 10 right now. I think they're clearly the best team in football.
No, it's not close.
Mm-hmm. We will close our show as we do each and every week with our upcoming predictions, or our predictions for upcoming week. We will start with Thursday night, Saints at Rams. Rams are 4-point favorites.
As I said, I'm high on the Rams. I'm not high on the Saints. I like the Rams pretty easily here. He's still making great throws. It's nuts. Like we were talking about early in the year, like Stafford, like on his last year, it's like, dude, he's still got Sean McVay. I think they're gonna make the playoffs, and they're scary. So I got Rams.
I don't agree with you that they're a scary team, but I do. This is actually one of my favorite bets of the week. I think I love the Rams in this spot. I think Saints right now may not have Chris Olave, and then Dennis Allen I think he's a terrible head coach, and I think Derek Carr's
terrible.
He's not a good head coach.
He's got this team to 7-7. He's a defensive guy.
Okay. Do you think Arthur Smith's a good coach? They're 7-7.
That's different. That's his offensive side is terrible. That's different.
Okay, but have you also said that you don't think Saints are necessarily a good defense? Like
they're still pretty solid. I mean, they're not top 5, but it's not like they have a ton of talent. Everyone acts like they have all this talent. They don't.
I love the Rams. Do you think they cover this game before we move on to next game? Do you think they cover? Okay.
Yeah, they cover.
Next game, these next 3 games next 2 are on Saturday. Bengals at Steelers. Bengals favored by 2.
I actually like the line of 2. I think this is a very close game. It's divisional. Cannot forget divisional with this. I mean, Steelers were in it with the Colts. They were looking like they were going to take it, and then it just fell apart. I can't pick I picked them last week. Man, I thought I was going to be right, and then they just – I got to go Bengals, though. I just can't trust the Steelers. I can't trust Mason Rudolph. I watched that guy. Not that impressed. I got to go Bengals, but I'm honestly not as confident as I thought I'd be after watching them beat Minnesota.
Yeah, if Jamar Chase was if he was healthy playing this game, I'd be really confident. I'm still going to pick the Bengals. The Steelers just don't offer anything offensively. They jumped out to a 13-0 lead, and most of that was because of a block punt that they got the ball at the 1-yard line. Other than that, they don't scare me as an offense. And if they lose this game, that's 4 straight losses. So I think right now there's definitely a chance that their players start quitting. Like George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, we've seen these players just quit on routes, quit on plays.
Yeah, that's not good. That's bad.
So I can definitely see that. I can definitely see we're watching the game, and I can definitely see George Pickens just kind of starts walking, and that'll be a huge storyline. And there's been rumors that they may move on from him after this season because of his attitude and all that. So, yeah, Steelers not a good spot. And I think Bengals have momentum. Even though Chase is out, I still think they all believe in Jake Browning. And I think the defense will make a few plays here and there to give the Bengals short fields. Next game, Bills at Chargers. Bills are 12-point favorites. I think the only discussion here is if Bills cover that line.
They're covering. I mean, I know everyone's picking them to cover, but they should cover. 12, honestly, isn't. I thought it'd be higher.
Well, it was 13.5 earlier this week, and it moved down. It moved down to 11, and now it's back up to 12. So it's been moving around.
I wonder if that's because Bills are running more this week, and so
right. I don't know. I think they.
I don't know why, but I got
cover as well.
Yeah.
Next game, huge game for the Luke Lazarchik betting success. Colts at Falcons. Falcons -1.
Okay, hear me out. There's no Michael Pittman.
Wait, do we know there's no Michael Pittman? That hit was.
I'm assuming there's no Michael Pittman. Okay, I'm assuming Jonathan Taylor may play, but quarterback Heineke is the starter this week. He wasn't that great, but
he's better, I bet.
The Steelers look good for a little bit on offense, and they're not good on offense. And Throw the ball to Drake London first off, Atlanta. Throw the ball to Drake London. Let's do that. But I got Falcons. No, Michael Pittman's huge. Gardner Minshew is just. I mean, he makes some nice throws, but he is throwing everything.
He puts his weapons in.
Like Jesse Bates, like I may need to go to ESPN Bet and do Jesse Bates touchdown because I could see it. That Jesse Bates is a stud. If Falcons lose this, though, I'm done. I'm
going to say Falcons as well.
I think, and I like Falcons.
I know this is going to drive you crazy because you hate when I talk about teams at home, but Colts are a completely different team on the road than they are at home. They just are. Like, Gardner Minshew is not a good road quarterback. But at home, for whatever reason, he plays really well. I think Falcons, I think they should win this game. I think they're the more talented team. They're at home.
Without Pittman, yeah.
Yeah, I think Falcons win. Now, believe me, I could be completely wrong.
No, yeah, that's not a lot.
I'm not confident in this pick, but I think Falcons win.
The over/under is kind of high at 44.
Well, Colts don't because every
Colts exactly. They don't stop people.
Mm-hmm. Next game, Seattle at Tennessee, and the Seahawks are favored by 2.5.
2.5 is, man, that's low. Tennessee, I mean, you just can't get Henry going. And I can't pick Tennessee if they can't get Henry going. They should not beat Miami. Like,
did you see Henry's last week?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you gotta take away the Miami win. You just gotta take it away. It's just they chucked the ball up to Hopkins and it worked. I don't see Tennessee winning this game. I still, as I was saying earlier, I won't feel better about the Seahawks if they have a good win against Tennessee. 2.5 is a little scary. Like, why is Vegas putting that 2.5? I don't know. But I still have Seattle. Can't pick against them here.
Yeah, I have Seattle as well. I think last night's win was huge for the team. Confidence builder, Geno Smith will be back. And Tennessee's pass defense is terrible. So Seattle's pass catching options should have a really big day. Next game, Lions at the Vikings. The Lions are favored by 3.
I do think Vikings keep this close, but I don't see them winning. Lions got confidence back, dropped 42 on Denver. I think it's close, but I can't see Lions actually losing.
Yeah, I think Lions, not only are they the better team, but this is a huge day in their franchise history. I mean, if they win, they clinch the division.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So I think that factor alone, I think these players will be very motivated. I think they win this game by 8+ points. I think they win by at least 8. And I think Vikings, this is where you kind of see, and we've kind of already seen it, but I think this is where their season ends and you kind of see them flatting out. So I think Lions win this. I think they win by at least 8. So I do think they cover. Next game, I'm interested to see where you go in this one. Washington at the Jets. Jets are favored by 3.
Sam Howell confirmed starting this week?
I don't know if he's confirmed.
If it's Brissett, I mean, because no Rodgers. We don't even know if Zach Wilson's playing. I think Zach Wilson is better Trevor Siemian. Gosh, Brissett plays.
I have more faith in Washington than Brissett plays. I'll tell you that right now.
No, yeah. Let me look up. Before I make this pick, let me just do a little search on the old internet. Any news? I don't really see anything. I'm going to assume Sam Howell plays. I'm going to pick the Jets. But if Jacoby Brissett plays, pick a Washington.
I'll pick the Jets as well. I think Washington is not good on offense, not good on defense. So I think Jets defense, as long as they control this game, which who knows how motivated the players will be now that they're eliminated from the playoffs officially. So that could be a factor.
Yeah.
But I think if their defense just plays well, I think they can shut down Washington, which is all they need to do. We've seen them shut down teams before and just win. Next game, Packers at Panthers. Packers only favored by 4.5, which I find pretty interesting.
I mean, Panthers, they were only underdogs of 3.5. We're like, what the? And then they beat the Falcons. Again, that is the Falcons. But also, Falcons-Packers are on a little bit of a similar kind of wavelength. But I feel like this is a Jordan Love game. I feel like if I'm not a daily fantasy player, guy, but I feel like this would be a love. I like Packers here. They're better than that loss. They're still fighting for that spot, and I think they're gonna do everything they can. And I'd give them this win. If Bryce Young goes and beats, that'd be so good for Bryce Young though. 2 wins in a row. If he could somehow sneak them into the second pick, I know it's like, geez, you still trade the second pick and all this DJ Moore, but that'd be nice for them. But I like Packers. Big Jordan Love game.
Yeah, I like Packers too. I think this is kind of week. They've been ridiculed for their defensive play. I think this is a week that their defense bounces back a bit, gets a lot of sacks on Bryce Young, and I can't pick Panthers in any circumstance, so I'll pick the Packers. Next game, another interesting game: Browns at Texans. Texans favored by 2.5.
I assume Stroud will play.
Yeah, I believe he plays.
I like the Browns, though. Give me Joe Flacco, man. Give me the vet. You still got this great defense. I mean, I know you barely beat the Bears, but the Bears are like
Bears defense has been. I believe Bears defense since the Montez Sweat trade has been.
No, they've been good.
They're like good. Top 5 in multiple categories.
They've been good. You gotta hand it to them, even though you gotta hand it to them. I still don't think Fields is that great. Bears could have won though. Couple dropped. But I still like the Browns. I'm just taking the team with the weapons I trust more without Tank Dell. Nico Collins may play those still, but I still trust Cooper and all of them. And I trust the defense, and I think Flacco does enough. But that's a pretty 50-50 game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean towards the Browns too. I think defensively, they could control this game. Texans are a weird spot for me right now. I think they could be really good on Sunday, or they could be really bad. I think this game hits the under. I don't think it hits the over. I think Browns defense kind of keeps Texans in check, and I think Browns kind of lean on that run game with Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt. So I think Browns can control this game. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting game. Next game, Jacksonville at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay are favored by 1.
I think I have Tampa. Have Tampa.
So you have all 3
yes.
AFC.
Yeah, all 3.
No, you have all 4 AFC South teams.
Well, Titans barely count. Yeah. But I don't think Trevor plays. I think, as I said, Beathard could beat them. But when I think about it, I gotta pick Tampa. They're playing well. I'm just thinking about Mike Evans and Godwin having another good game. Josh Allen would be the key. He needs to get to Baker. I don't think he does it enough. Very close, very close. I'm assuming Trevor doesn't play. I'm going Baker and Tampa, and it's going to break my heart. But, yeah.
This is such a tough game because I think if Trevor plays, I'm still not overly confident in the Jaguars. But without him, I think I'm going to pick Tampa Bay in this one. And it hurts me because I have a parlay with Jaguars winning the division, and this would scare me a lot if they don't win this game. But I think health-wise, Tampa Bay's in a better spot, and I think Jaguars have not been able to get that running game going, and you don't really run the ball on Tampa Bay. And you can't – it's tough to run on Jacksonville as well. So both defenses have the same strength, but I think I'm going to give Tampa Bay the edge just because of health.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Next game, Cardinals at Bears. Bears are favored by 4.5.
I mean, this just affects some draft order. Bears defense playing too well. They're playing too well. I kind of like Cardinals plus 4.5, but I think Bears win. I think it'll be close, but I'm taking Bears.
I will take Bears as well. I think the defense is going to dominate this game. Arizona is just not – it is not a good roster. And Marquise Brown's out. He's been a non-factor. It's going to be Trey McBride.
Stud.
And that's about it, leading the offense. So I think right now Bears defense is playing too well. It's in Chicago. I like the Bears to win this game. Next game, finally, I feel like we're actually talking about 2 pretty good to really good teams. Cowboys at Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 1.5.
I'm going Cowboys. This is another – this would be a good game.
This game's interesting because a trend has to break. Cowboys don't play well on the road.
Yeah, I know. A trend
Dolphins
breaks.
don't.
And
Dolphins can't beat a team over 500.
I think, oh man, it's so tough, but it's all about don't let Tyreek go for 200. Tyreek's gonna play. There's no way he doesn't.
I mean, there's a reason. They sat him out against the Jets to get him healthy for this game. He's playing.
No, yeah, but I think they do enough. I think Micah has a big game. I think they just do a little bit of enough.
I think
yeah, Cowboys.
I don't think Dolphins are a team that is committed to run the ball, especially Tyreek's back. They want to throw the ball, and I think the way to beat the Cowboys is to run the ball and force them to stop the run. But I don't think Dolphins are really committed to that. I think they'll want to throw the ball. So I like the Cowboys in this spot. And I think Cowboys, they were embarrassed on national television. I think they're going to come back this week extra motivated. So I like the Cowboys in this one.
Man, we have not disagreed on a game yet, to my knowledge. No, we have not.
Have we not? I guess we haven't.
No. I thought you were going to pick Texans.
No. Texans, I think.
I thought you were picking Colts. I thought you were going to pick Jags.
Next game, Patriots at Broncos. Broncos favored by 6.5.
I know the Broncos got whooped. But I know the Patriots kind of held their own. Not really, though, but kind of. I'm taking Denver. It's not. Denver was like plus 270 to make the playoffs. I checked. I forgot to say it. It's like, that's nice because they have 3 easy games. And I think they take care of business with this one.
I think, man. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. I'm taking Patriots with the points.
Okay. I'd be shocked if you picked the Patriots.
Man.
That would surprise the hell out of me.
Here's the thing with Bill Belichick, man.
You're the one praising Bill Belichick? This is nuts.
No. I think he's gone. But here's the thing with Broncos. They are heavily reliant on Cortland Sutton. What do the Patriots do? They take away your best weapon. If you take away Sutton, Denver really doesn't offer much else.
Oh, yeah, I get you. I don't know. Sutton sort of just makes himself, though.
I'm gonna disagree with you just for bragging rights. I'm going Patriots. I think defense wins this game. I don't trust Russell Wilson. Like I said, I think their success has been really fluky. Deshaun Payne blowing up at Russell Wilson. That's a big thing in my opinion. Him blowing, and maybe he's been doing it behind closed doors as well. I like the Patriots though. I think Bailey Zappi. People want to say, "Oh, Mac Jones, they're bad." That's because of Mac Jones.
Okay, first off, I get a whole Mac Jones thing, but the guy made a Pro Bowl his rookie year. He got broken mentally. That's my Mac Jones.
Wait, who do you think's better right now, Zappi or
Mac? Okay, Zappi at this current moment. But if you tell me next year who's a better quarterback, once Mac Jones leaves the Patriots, Mac Jones is a better quarterback.
I think this is a game where the Patriots are going to lean on the run. This is going to be an ugly game. I think it'll be ugly. I
agree.
I'm going to take the under on 34.5, and I think Patriots win this game defensively. I think they just take away Sutton. I think they force Russell Wilson to go elsewhere with the ball, and I don't know if Russell Wilson can do that. So I'm going to take Bill. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, if the Patriots win, I'm going to be pissed just because you picked them after Hayden. I'd be pissed. I'd be very pissed.
Next game, yeah. Raiders at Chiefs, Christmas Day, 12 o'clock. Chiefs favored by 10.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. I mean, they're looking better. I know Raiders beat the holy hell out of the Chargers, but I don't see it. I think Chiefs get to Aiden O'Connell. I think Aiden O'Connell is a stinker, and then Rashee Rice probably has another 70 yards, which is nice. Pacheco probably not back.
Rice had 91 yards this last game.
No, I know, but yeah, I like Chiefs. Cover 10. That's a lot. I don't know.
I think Chiefs cover. The last time we saw Raiders player smoking cigars in the locker room, they got killed. And they're smoking cigars beating a chart. Congratulations. They're in Kansas City. I think Chiefs covered it last time in Raiders in Las Vegas. Raiders were up 14-0. They're not going to do that again. I think Chiefs defense dominates this game. And I think the Raiders come back down to earth this game. I want to say this game's 31-17, 31-20. So I think Chiefs barely cover, but I think Chiefs get over 30 in this game. Next game, Giants at Eagles, and wow, this line actually moved up, which I'm kind of surprised. Eagles minus 11.5.
I think it's because the Giants were so bad against the Saints. I mean, yeah, the Eagles. Do they cover? Yeah, you cover.
Yeah. I don't think Tommy DeVito – is Tommy DeVito on concussion protocol right now?
We have a Tyrod. Oh, man. Tyrod may just keep it closer, but, Eagles are going to win. Tyrod can just mess around and keep it closer. I'm still going to – I would not bet the line on this, but I'd take them to cover. Yeah.
I'll take Eagles. I'll take them to cover. I think they – right now, for them to get their comments up, they don't just need to win. They need to blow out a team.
Yeah, that's why I think they cover.
Yeah, I think Giants are a punching bag this week for the Eagles. So I think Eagles take care of business. I think they can at least win by 12. So I'm pretty confident that they cover the line. Last game of the week, you've alluded to it, that this is your Super Bowl preview. Ravens at 49ers, and I'm kind of shocked at how much the 49ers are favored by 5.5.
I am too. I'm taking the Ravens. I think Lamar is going to win. I think Lamar wins MVP with this game. I don't think he throws for 350 yards or something. I think it hits 46.5. I think it's under. I'm thinking 21-17 type of stuff. Gritty. Ravens defense shows out.
So you see a lower scoring game in this one.
Yes. Christmas night, I'm going to be wanting to sleep because I'm going to be driving on the 26th early, and I mean early. But I can't not watch this. I'm taking Ravens, though. Oh, it's such a good game. I think Lamar makes a couple big plays, and it pushes him to MVP, 12-3, 1 seed. I like Ravens here.
I'm definitely taking Ravens with the points. Question is, do I take the Ravens? Lamar's very good against NFC teams. He dominates NFC teams. But the 49ers are not like these other NFC teams he's played. I think I'm going to pick Baltimore. I think this is when they solidify themselves as a 1 seed. And as you know, I'm not huge. I think Brock Purdy's good. I don't think he's great. That's not a knock on him. I'm not saying he's bad. But I think.
Is he better than Trey Lance?
Yes, I don't know why you have to hear me say that. Yes, my God.
I just
maybe drop him. Jesus Christ.
Oh wow, I made you drop. I had to convince this dude when we're in the fantasy playoffs in Dynasty, we can just pick him right back up to drop Trey Lance.
You're trying to bring up all these other conversations. I'm trying to stay on topic. I think Brock Purdy, this could be a game where Ravens defense gives him a little bit of troubles, and I think, like you said, I think this may be a lower scoring game. I'm gonna take Ravens 24-20.
We agreed way too much on these games, and the only thing we disagreed on, you picked the flippin' Patriots. What the hell?
I've been thinking about it all week. Denver, I'm not been very impressed with how they've been winning games. It's just been fluky stuff for me. And I think if you take Sutton away, and I like Jerry Jeudy, but he's just not consistent enough for the Broncos. I think if you take Sutton away, this offense is not gonna do much.
It's just of all the games we have to disagree with. I mean, I could see it being Patriots, but you're the one picking. It's weird.
I think you're just mad that I made a pretty good pick right there. But
gosh, you're unfortunate. Now that we're not 120 miles away, I can just walk in this door right after and kick your butt.
Okay, pal. Well, that will do it for our episode today. As we stated earlier, Luke will probably not be able to record next week, so I may do a solo episode. But as always, make sure that you subscribe to the video, like the video, always leave comment suggestions, and make sure to enjoy your holidays, your Christmas and your New Year's.
Shout out to the homie Dempsey for letting me use his room, even though I didn't tell him.
Okay, yep. I'll make sure. We'll see if he ends up watching this, but who knows. But until then, we'll see you possibly next week.